Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are continuing with Chapter 9 Structured Query Language for 2nd PUC Computer Science students. This is a practical based chapter and it is very important because you can expect 5-mark higher order question in final exam, and also there are 4 practical lab programs are also there related to SQL. And I already posted a video on how to install MySQL and also explained 2 programs related to it. If you haven't watched those yet, I will share the link in the description box. Please check it out. And in today's class, I will also discussing important Viva question which will definitely help you in your practical exam. So don't skip the video, watch till the end. And also, if you're visiting my channel for the first time, please subscribe, like, and share to your friends. Thank you so much for your support. And now let's begin the class. Okay, what is the meaning of SQL? SQL is nothing but structured query language. Here, what is the meaning of structured? Structured is nothing but the data is organized in the form of tables, right? And you will be having rows and columns. So this is called structured query. Query is nothing but you are giving the request or command to write it in a database. Okay, and it's a used to communicate with relational databases. So relational databases, last chapter only we had discussed what is it meaning. So like MySQL is one of the software, Oracle and SQL Server. So if you want to create a relational database, you have to use these other software for that. And it is easy to learn. Why? Because the SQL statements are made up of descriptive English words, which means very simple English words, and it is not a case sensitive. Case sensitive means both capital letter and the small letters are not different. Okay, and next one, what are the features of SQL? So they may ask you in 3 markers or 5 markers also, what are the features of SQL? The first point is open source and free of cost. What is it meaning of open source? So the open source is nothing but the software will be available with the source code, right? And it is a free of cost. And I told you, right, I already posted the video how to install the MySQL. It is freely, you can download it from the internet, and it is available in no website, and it is under the general public license. Okay, and anyone can download, install and modify MySQL without paying the license fees. And what is the meaning of portability? It is nothing but the platform independent. It can work with Windows, Linux or Mac OS also, it will work it out. And it requires a small footprint, making it suitable for desktop as well as the server environment. So if you want to work it out with the shell also, the GUI application also, it will work, as well as the server application also, it will work it out. Okay, the next one is the security. It supports password based encryption. So if you want to provide the password for your database access, you can provide it. And it provides user and permission management to restrict or allow access to data. So who can access the data and what level they can access the data, you can set it in MySQL. And this one is a connectivity. What is the meaning of connectivity? Means if I want to connect MySQL to different program, like I want to combine the Python with MySQL, it is possible. I tell you the example. For example, if you want to, you are going to the mail ID and you are entering the username and password, and from where it will be checking whether the username and passwords are correct or not. There will be a database, from that it will be checking, and you can get the connection, right? You can enter through the email, right? But how it will be, the front end will be the one application and the back end, the database will be the another application. So both the applications are like, which means the both the programs are integrated, right? So that's what you can connect with Python with MySQL also. Okay, and Java with MySQL, C++ with MySQL, it will support. Next one, support for SQL query languages, it will be supported. So all the operation, like if you want to create a table, delete a table, if you want to modify, update, all the query languages, this MySQL will support. And next concept is data types in MySQL. So what is the data types are available? Like Python, we are having so many data types, right? Mutable, immutable, int, float, all this. The same way here in MySQL also we are having different data types. One is char, another one is a varchar. So these two differences definitely you will be asking in 2 marker also, as well as in Viva questions also they will be asking. So what is the meaning of char of n? Means it will be accepting the character. Like if I want to mention A, B or 1, 2, 3 also it is fine, but it will be enclosed with single quote. In Python you will be using double quote, but in MySQL you have to use what? Only the single quote. Okay. And varchar also it will be accepting what? It will be a variable plus character. I want to mention now R101. You can accept it here. Okay, that is a varchar of n. So here what is the main differences? If I mentioning char of 5, which means 5 character, it will be accepting as a input. Now my input I am giving hi is my hi is my input. Now in the memory location, if you check, you have allotted 5 spaces, right? So the 5 spaces will be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces will be there, and hi will be storing it here. But already 3, it will be padded there only. In the memory, it will be allotted. You can't use it for any other purpose. So that's what it is called a static memory allocation. So whatever the memory you are allocating, it will be allocated in the memory space. Whether your input is very small character also, it will be allocated. But what about in varchar? Varchar of 5, when I'm giving it, what it will happen? The memory will be dynamic memory allocation, which means if I'm giving you the input as hi, only 2 space will be allocated in the memory. The remaining spaces will not be padded. It will be utilized for another purpose. So that is the main difference between char and varchar. Char is nothing but static memory allocation. Varchar is nothing but dynamic memory allocation. The next one is an integer. Integer means what? It will be a integer data type. So but there is a limited for the integer data type. So it will be occupying what? 4 bytes of space it will be occupying. And what about the big int? Big int, if you want to give more than some exponent number, if you want to give, you have to go for big int. It will be occupying the 8 bytes. And what about the float? Float also will be occupying the 4 bytes. Okay, float is nothing but the decimal point. Okay, and the date. So the date, there will be a format you have to follow. One is, what is that? Year, the 4 year hyphen then month hyphen date. This is the format. But how can you give it as an input? You have to give 4 YY slash mm then hyphen then what? DD, which means if I'm giving the date 2025 hyphen 06 hyphen 12, this is my format of giving date. So these are the data types are available in MySQL. Next one is a constraint. What is the meaning of constraint? Just only one word you can remember. It is rules enforced to the column or rules applying to the column. What is the rules? When you are asking the user to enter any input, there are certain rules you are going to give it. Why are we giving the rules? For example, asking the telephone number, only the 10 digit it should be there. So the limit you are setting it as a 10 digit only. If the user is giving more than that, it will give you the error, right? So that is what you are enforcing the rules to the column. So what are the rules you can give? First one is a not null, which means if you are having a table, the particular column, it should not have a null value. Null value means if the, you see, for example, if you are preparing the student database, you don't know some of the email ID. That is fine. You can give a null value. Later on, you can update it. But if you don't know the name of the student, that is not going to be accepted at all. So that is called null value. It is not going to accept it. And next one is a unique. What is the meaning of unique? Is all the values should have a unique value. You cannot give, for example, if I'm giving the roll number as 101, again the second roll number also if I'm giving 101, that is not correct. It should be unique value. You have to give different value only. And what is the default? For example, when default means you are assigning some default value. If the user doesn't know what is the value to give, you are giving the default value. And next one is a primary key and foreign key. So this primary key and foreign key also you can give it as a constraint. And what is it meaning of primary key and foreign key? I explained to you already in the previous session. Just go through that. Primary key is nothing but you have to identify what is the unique value from this table. That primary key, through that primary key only you can access the data from the table. Okay, and what is the meaning of foreign key? Foreign key is nothing but the primary key of the another table is a foreign key. So these are the constraint you can apply it. So this is another important. See, if you take the SQL, there are DDL and DML commands are very important. So if you take first one DDL commands, so what is the meaning of DDL is data definition language, and in this is definite question for the Viva. And also you can expect the 2 marker, 3 marker or 5 mark. 5 marker mostly the HOTS question will come. The HOTS question I will tell you later how they will be forming the question. But 2 marker and 3 markers and Viva question, definitely they will ask you what is the meaning of DDL commands and what are the DDL commands are there. So you have to say that DDL commands is nothing but data definition language, and what are the commands under the DDL is create, describe, alter and drop. Okay, so it is used to define, modify, delete the structure of the database object such as tables, schema or databases. Okay, so these are the one you have to remember, and we are going to see one by one now. So what is the meaning of DDL is, as we discussed, data definition language. So when you want to create a table first what you have to do, you have to create a database. So how to create a database? You have to mention create, then database, and database name you have to create. How to create a database name? Any name you can give it. Your name also you can give. For example, if I want to create a student database, you can give student details is my database name. So all the students will be there in the database. Okay, and next one, you have to end with semicolon. All the MySQL query will be ending with semicolon. After creating the database, now the next command will be use database. So you are going to use this database for the remaining the command. So use, what is the database name? Student details. That you have to mention it here. Student data details, then semicolon. After that, the next one, if for example after creating so many things, then you just finished, and the next day if you're coming to the laptop and you want to continue with your work, how can you do that? First you have to start with use student details only. Again, no need to create a database because already you created. Now you have to start with use student details only, your database name only. But if you forgot the database name, I want to check what are the databases are available, then there is one more command called show databases. So what is the meaning of show databases? Means it will be giving you the list of database which is available in your server. So show database, then semicolon, it will give you that. Clear now? Now after creating that, see, you just remember this diagram. This one we can call it the whole together is called a database. And database, there are so many database will be there, and in that one database only you are will be creating a table. If you create a table, what it will happen, the structure will form. Structure is nothing but the rows, the columns, what are the columns names are there here, and what is the data types. The structure means you will be having the information, the column name, and what is the data type each column is holding, and if there any constraint are there, all the information will be there for the structure. When the structure will come, once you create a table only it will come. Clear? Now we'll go one by one. So create database is over, use database, then show database is over. Now we are going to create a table. So as we discussed, we are going to create a student table. So what is the syntax for that? Create table and table name. So table name, when you're giving, you have to remember the rule. You should not give that identifier in Python. What are the rules you have given? We should not give space between the word, and it should not start with numbers. All the rule you have to follow here also. In SQL also the same rules only. You should not give a name. Space here, and underscore is allowed. And open bracket, then column 1 space data type you have to give. Is there any constraint? You have to give the constraint. Then comma, column to data type constraint. Like that you have to continue. Then finally close bracket with semicolon. What is the example? As we discussed, I'm going to create a student database now. So create table student. I'm including now roll number is my column name. What is the data type is int, comma, yes name varchar of 25, no space here, comma, combination. Combination means whether it is a PCMB, PCMC, CEBA or any other combination, varchar of 5, comma, class varchar of 4 and date of birth date. Then closing with semicolon. This is what you have to create a table. Next one is a describe. Describe is nothing but it will help to display the structure of the table. As I told you, whenever you're creating the table, the structure will be appear. What is the column name? What is the data type? And is there any constraint? It will be there. How can you see the structure? Describe or DESC. DESC also you can mention. Describe or DESC. Then table name. What is the table name? Student. So DESC student semicolon. It will give you the structure. And next one is the alter command. What is the meaning of alter command? Is it is used to change the structure of an existing table, and that includes your, if you want to add any new column to the table, modifying or deleting the column, and if you want to add constraint also, you can do it by using alter command. In alter there are different way you can use the alter command. One by one I will tell you. You have to remember the syntax and example properly. So first one is add a new column or attribute to an existing table. So already your table is created here. So what are the columns are there? Roll number, and here what student name. Then again what is there? Combination, and next one is what? Class and date of birth is here. Now I want to add one more column. So how can you add it? Alter table. Table means what? Table. Table name is student. Add column name data type. I am adding now GUID, which means guardian ID int. So this column will be added here. Okay. So this is one way of using the alter command. Next one is what? Modifying the column data type. I want to modify one of the data type. How can you do that? Again, alter table, table name, modify. Here you are using modify. Before that what you are using? You are adding the column means add. So modify, column name, new data type. I am combination. I want to increase the data type as before it was 5. I am increasing to 10 size now. That you are doing it. Next one, add not null constraint. Not null means the column should not have a null value. So you again alter table, table name, modify. Again you are using the modify. Column name, data type not null. Alter table student, modify. I am giving yes name. The student name varchar of 25 not null, which means the student name should not be null value. All the student, definitely the user has to be enter. Next one, add default constraint. You are giving the default value now. So how can you do that? Alter table, table name. Again modify only you are using. Column name, data type, default value. Here alter table student is my table name. Modify this column I am taking class varchar of 10. Then default I am giving PUC. Whether it can be a first PUC or second PUC, but default the column value will be PUC. Next one, drop. So drop is nothing but you are deleting the complete structure. So again the question will ask, what is the difference between drop and delete? Very, very important question for your Viva as well as your theory. So drop is nothing but it will be deleting the complete structure of the table. You can't find the table later. And here what is the meaning of delete is you are deleting one particular column, or if you are deleting all the data in the table. Okay. Now drop, again the drop, if you want to delete the complete row, complete column also you can use it. Next, alter table, table name, drop column name. I am deleting complete column now. The column only will not be available. Okay. So, but delete, the column will be there, but the value will not be there. Clear? So, alter table, student, drop DOB. So, the DOB column I removed from the table. Next, how can you add the primary key? alter table table name, add primary key of column name. So which column if you want to add the primary key, that should be there. Here alter table student, here what, adding primary key, roll number I am adding as a primary key. Next one, drop a primary key. If you want to drop it, you have to mention what, alter table student drop primary key. So primary key, whatever you are creating, it will drop it. But the column will be there, but primary key constraint will not be there. The same way for foreign key, how can you add, alter table table name, add foreign key column name. Which column if you want to consider as a column, you are giving the references here. Why we are giving reference? As we discussed, the foreign key is nothing but the primary key of the another table. For that you have to give the references other table column name. So here alter table student is my table name, add foreign key as a GUID. So GUID is a foreign key of the student table. So references guardian table, I am giving GUID. Okay, so GUID is a primary key of the guardian table. And guardian table, student table, what are the columns are there, already we discussed in the database. Those who didn't watch, please do watch that video. Next one, add unique constraint. Unique is nothing but what, you have to give a different value. So alter table table name, add unique of column name. Which column you are giving us a unique value, you have to mention. So the student is my table name, add unique of roll number. So the roll number you should give a different value. Next one is a drop statement. So what is a drop statement? To drop a table, drop table table name. What is the example? Drop table student. So what it will happen if you're mentioning drop table student is the student table only completely will be removed from the database. And to drop a database, if you drop the complete database, you have to mention drop database, then student details. When we created the student details, no, it will be removed completely. Again, if you mention that use student details, it won't appear, it will give you the error. So these are the DDL commands are available in MySQL. Next class we are going to see what are the DML commands. I hope everyone is clear. If you have any question, post your question in the comment section, and please do watch of the how to install the MySQL and database concept so that you can relate with this chapter. Thank you so much.